Hello everyone and welcome back to Crafty Little Dragonfly. Today we have a bit of a spoiler, but if you've seen the anime series, you know that we are working with the goddess form of Madoka, who is also called Madokami. It's kind of funny because the Japanese word kami is the word for god, and so it's a play on words with Madoka and kami. So today we start out just like the other drawings with a sketch that I had previously, and this time I was using the white layer with the border effect the entire time, and I also had it on symmetry mode for a lot of it, before making it not symmetrical later. I had a bit of trouble with all the details, but mostly I had trouble with the hands, trying to get those to work correctly. I used Clip Studio's hand model function and just kind of traced over them. I really need to get better at certain angles of hands and fingers. I don't think anyone's perfect at them either, but you know. Something interesting with her design is the fact that now she has 5 soul gems, one large one for her previous, and then 4 others, which may represent her friends. Madoka's ultimate form has extremely long hair in addition to her ponytails, and in every image that I've seen of her, the ends always trail off into the edges of the pictures, so I wanted to try and keep that by hiding the ends under her dress. Another striking part of her design is the galaxy effect that's in all of the shadows of her clothing. It's all like one continuous effect and just shows her power and how she's not exactly of this world anymore. She's more than that. Starting off with her hair this time, I separated it into her actual head and then the rest of the body to try and keep the layers just a little bit easier to work with. This time I definitely wanted to lean more into the kind of rainbowy under effect with her hair, even more than the other girls, to show her otherworldliness. I hope it still kind of reads as her hair color in the end. I wanted to kind of read both ways. As far as her eyes this time, I wanted them to feel warm and glowy. They actually change from her usual pink to a golden color when she's in goddess form. I brought some of the yellow up into the eyelash area to try and bring out the glowing effect as well. Used some different color dodge effects in order to get some of the bright colors, and I think it was color burn for the warm red to deepen the colors. Her soul gems gave me a little bit of trouble. Maybe it was just because it was different line work than the way I was doing it previously. It was a little bit thicker line work, so trying to do it the same way was a little difficult. But again, color dodge is your friend for shiny jewels, and also retouching the line work layer to kind of match the color underneath. I also added a little bit of a glowing effect on top and erased out part of it so that it was kind of like a sparkle effect. So next I actually start working on the galaxy parts, which was my favorite part of this, I think. I layered on different pinks and purples and just kind of watched the watercolor effects spread and just let it do its own thing. I added some blacks and dark blues in between as well to kind of highlight the galaxy effects, and used some different filters to try and amplify it, but I did try and get it to work with just the normal layer as well. It's so weird to just do a flat layer for basically the shading underneath all of the layers of her dress instead of actual shading. It really gives a strange effect, but I like it. I also brought it up into her sleeves. Instead of redoing them, I just kind of used the same one as the bottom of the dress to harmonize it because it just wasn't working trying to do it like separately. After doing the hands, I needed to erase the fold lines from inside the galaxy areas, and it really gives like a very flat feeling to it, which gives it a really different vibe than actual clothing. But I did need to do that to all of the galaxy layer, so I cut a little bit of that out. I also adjusted the line layers to have a bit of a purple in the shadows because if it's all white, it's very one-dimensional, so I was just trying to add a little bit of depth, at least for certain spots. I realized that I'd forgotten her lowest layer of her dress actually has a pink tone. It's got the same pinkish purplish tone as, I believe, her winged boots and the inner layer that's in her sleeves, so I wanted to make sure that I got that and didn't forget. I also added on a few layers where I duplicated the shading and erased parts of it, changed the color, and then duplicated that, erased parts of it, changed the color to kind of give some variation within the shadows, like you can do with normal watercolors with dropping the colors in while it's still wet. I also used a light pink and purple for the shading for her dress and kind of erased it out to give a satin effect. Working on shading her boots using pinks and purples for shading and just kind of, I don't know, trying to make them look pretty. I don't have much to say. For her skin, I really should have done that all in one go. It kind of sometimes looks disjointed if you don't do them at the same time because you don't do the exact same thing. The same thing goes for the back of her hair. I should have done that at the same time, but you can always fix it in post, I guess. Also, I apologize for any lighting changes. I didn't realize that my iPad was, going into dark mode, and then I tried to, again, fix it in post, but I'm no good at color editing, so if you see any weird color changes, no, you don't. For her background, I feel like I went really heavy at the very beginning with the pinks. It just didn't feel very light, but layering helped with that. I kind of layered some purples and some blues to try and bring the dress colors out into the background and contrast against her pink hair and the white of the dress. It's always trying to make sure that, like, at least the edges are a little bit darker when it's up against a white area. That way it kind of makes it pop and glow against it. I'm just finishing up adjusting some different color layers to kind of harmonize things a little bit better. In the end, after all of this, I did do just a little bit more touch-up work in Clip Studio, and I keep forgetting that it does not record the time lapse, so unfortunately you'll just have to see at the very end what it's going to look like. Oh, and I also almost forgot to actually paint her, like, neck and chest area. Always make sure you double check everything. That is the end, and I really hope you like this one. I think she turned out very pretty. Please come back next time for our darker final paint, and I hope that you liked it. Let me know what you think. Thank you guys. Bye.